Hello, boys and girls of CSA. Today I'd like to show you how you actually can wire up a widget. And you'll remember from in class us talking about that widgets are actually all the little components that you can drop into your app. And in this view, when we're working in our 8XML file, we're basically decorating the interface. It's sort of like this is a widget. All these fields are widgets. So they're components that come in from over here on our palette that have all kinds of, they're actually classes, I believe, that come in and have all kinds of functionality already built into them. But until they're wired up in the Java, they are not going to work. So there are three main steps to wiring your widget, and that is to declare it, then to wire it, and then to connect to Java type defs. However, before you do any of that, you actually have to put your widgets into your interface. So right now, if you look at our screen, we have an interface that shows a label, says first name, followed by a text entry box where the person would type in their first name, last name, enter text entry box, high school, but then no text entry box, and then a submit button. And down here where it says greeting will go here. Once we hit the submit button, what hopefully our app will do will say, hello, Joe Schmo. I see that you went to XYZ High School, or whatever your message might want to be. But after they enter their information into the text, plain text entry widgets, we'll have that to draw upon to use in our app however we'd like. So anyway, let's drop in one more widget here. Like I said, we have 3 widgets labels here for first name, last name, high school. We have 2 plain text. We need another one. So I'm going to grab this plain text and I'm going to drag it over here to my component tree, and I'm going to put it in the 3rd linear layout right where we see the high school one. And so now you see I have my high school label widget over here, label high school, and we have our edit text widget. So what I want to do first of all is make sure it's set up so it's wrapping content. I want to change its ID so that it is making sense. It is edit and not edit text, but it's going to be edit high school. I want to put a hint here so that people will see it and know what to do, and the hint is going to say enter your, but it may not all fit, so I'm going to say enter high school, just like that. And the last thing I want to do is make my font match the others, so I'm going to come down here and I remember that my text size, if I can find text size, there it is actually 24. And so I'll click away. And now you can see on our interface, we've dropped in a new widget that says enter high school. But at this point, that widget isn't going to do anything for us because it's not wired. It's not connected to the Java code that's making this app run. So we are going to now have to switch over here to main activity. Now, as you can see, there's already a bunch of code in this app. And what we're going to do is basically study it so that we know what to do for our new app. We can see the first thing we do is we have to declare the variables. And again, the first step in getting your widget working is to declare it. So we have here declared a private in the edit text class first name, edit text last name. We have a button called submit, and we have private text view greeting. So we have just added to it another text edit. So I'm going to come down here at the bottom. Actually, maybe I'll do it up here so it all looks organized. And I'm going to make a new variable, private edit text. And we're going to call this one high school. So now we have initialized, we've declared a new variable called high school. Now you'll notice it's gray, and it's only gray because the program is telling us that, hey, you've declared something here, but you haven't used it anywhere in your program. Hopefully that will change once we get it down into our program. All right. Next, we are going to come down where we have to wire the widgets. And I'm going to look at the ones that were already done because they'll give us a good clue. And here's the name of the variable. And what we're going to do is we're going to come right down after that one. And our new variable name, our widget, is high school. And you can see it pops up to help you see. And if you've noticed up above, it's now turned purple up there. Oops, not plus, equals. All right. Edit text. find view by ID. Here comes the argument, r:id, comma, edit, and I called it edit high school, and it pops up. The pop-ups are very helpful. They will help you eliminate a lot of typing errors. All right, so now we have it declared up above, private edit text high school. We have wired it here. High school is equal to that line. All right, and now we're going to drop down, and we are going to actually call that as a string variable. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter, and this is where we're connecting to the Java type defs, and the type def we're using here, the type is a string. That's what we want to convert it to, so I'm going to type string, and what I'm going to have to give this a new name, and it's high school, so I'll call it HS. That seems to make good sense. And what are we doing it with? We are doing it with high school get text, because it's a variable that we can retrieve that, or object that we can retrieve that from. Get text. It's a method, period, toString. Oops, typos, typos, typos. There we go. Now we're going to call the toString method, semicolon. And if we look back above now, we can see high school, which at one point was gray. Sorry about whatever I just did there. I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that. Where am I at here? Okay, high school, which one time was gray, is now purple. So up here we declared it. Here we wired the widget. And down here we actually connected it to the Java type def, and the type is string. Now all I have to do is add it down here to my final output. And you can see it's concatenating. The greeting is going to set the text to hello space plus FN, which is first name, plus space plus LN, which is last name, plus hard return. Nice to meet you. I see you went to, quote, plus the high school variable plus high school. So let's see how this works now. I'm going to come up and run it. And of course we have to wait then for our Gradle to build. And we'll see if we get this app to work. So the first thing you have to do, of course, is decide what your layout's going to look like. And that is done with XML in the design view. And you can simply drag and drop widgets into that design view and use all the attributes on the right-hand side to determine what those widgets are going to look like. But then to get into the functioning of the widgets, you're going to have to go into the main activity.java, and there you will first of all declare it, second of all wire it, and third of all connect it to a Java type def. So now our code is running, and we hope we don't get any red ugly error messages. Down at the bottom you'll have an icon to bring up your emulator. There it is. So it's ready for me to go. I'm going to type in my first name, my last name, my high school. Yes, I went to the great Annville Cleona High School. Of course, I can't spell where I went to high school. That's how we graduated. If you could spell your school, you graduated. And now I'll hit the submit button. And yes, it says, hello, Rod Myers. Nice to meet you. I see you went to Annville Cleona High School. So there you have it, folks. I'm going to close this up. Brief review. You'll go into your XML design mode. Here you're going to lay out the look of your app. This is your design one. It's sort of like if you buy something like a lamp, and you brought the lamp home, and you placed it in the corner of the room right where you want it. That's what you're doing in this view. But it isn't going to work till you actually wire it up, and that's what we do in the main activity. So once I place my widgets in here and have them arranged and have changed the attributes of those widgets, the properties to what I want, I then go to my main activity where I will first declare it as a variable, then I will wire the widget, and then finally I will connect that variable to Java type def. In this case we wanted it as a string. Hope you enjoyed, hope you can use it. Adios amigos.